Despite several rounds of talks among different ranks of the party, CPN Unified Socialist has yet to decide on whether to extend support to the government or remain in the opposition. Meanwhile, in a welcome move and contrary to past precedents, the ruling coalition has decided not to split ministries just to maintain power equation. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. The ruling coalition decides to give the cabinet a full shape after introducing its common minimum program. Leaders also decide not to split ministries just to ensure power share. Cross-border crimes and smuggling continues unabated, ensuring security at Nepali international airports a major challenge. Experts call for immediate improvements. Tech giant Amazon to shed over 18,000 jobs in a bid to cut down on its expenses. Affected workers expected to be informed from 18th of January. And at the English Premier League, Tottenham Hotspur thumbs Crystal Palace 4-0. Inter Milan hands Napoli its first defeat of the season at CDR. The ruling coalition is to give a full shape to the government only after making public its common minimum program. Yesterday's meeting of the senior leaders of the ruling coalition, held at the official residence of Prime Minister in Baluatar, has decided to give the cabinet a full shape after introducing its common minimum program. The leaders have decided not to split ministries to ensure power share. A leader who attended the meeting said that the government would proceed with consensus on the posts of President, Vice President, Chief Ministers and governments of all 7 provinces following the expansion of the Council of Ministers. Meanwhile, the meeting has also set today's deadline for the task force formed to prepare the common minimum program. Despite formation of an 8-member Council of Ministers under Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal on the 25th of December, 4 ministers have not been assigned their portfolios, while the cabinet is yet to gain a full shape as the coalition is yet to reach a consensus. Largest party of the House of Representatives, Nepali Congress, has said that it will play the role of a strong opposition at the parliament. Addressing a press meet held at the party's central office in Sanepa, spokesperson Prakash Sharan Mahat said that Nepali Congress would play the role of a strong opposition in raising issues of public concerns. Mahat further went on to add that the previous coalition had split because of betrayal from CPN Maoist Centre Chair Pushpakamal Dahal. Congress spokesperson Mahat also claimed that the current coalition, which includes political parties with contrasting ideologies, would not exist for a long time. He also added that Nepali Congress was not worried about the current situation. It was the first press meet held by Nepali Congress following the change in national political equation. Other officials of the party did not attend the press meet. Disputes are intensifying in Nepali Congress regarding the breakup of the previous coalition. The Nepali Congress Party Central Committee meeting held previously called for tomorrow has been pushed for a week. Nepali Congress has said that the meeting has been rescheduled for the 12th of January because of parliamentary session slated for 9th of January. Congress has called a meeting for its parliamentary party for the 7th of January, Saturday. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal's directives to secretaries in the 2-day meeting held at Singadarbar is now drawing attentions. Past Prime Ministers and Ministers also used to issue such directives to officials. However, these interactions and directives have barely made any impact. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal met secretaries of all ministries on Monday and Tuesday and was briefed by them and issued a 30-point directive. Premier Dahal also warned of departmental actions if public continue to face difficulties in government service delivery. While Prime Minister issuing directives to the secretaries is not a new practice, such instances of the past do not furnish evidences of effective implementation. Nepal's bureaucratic mechanism is so traditional and complicated, many say, that the political leadership itself has failed in dissecting it. Doubts remain intact about if Prime Minister Dahal's directives would be implemented by officials with a traditional mindset. A positive message cannot be sent to the public if their issues of daily lives are not addressed alongside improvements in policies. For this, transformation is also required in the administrative mechanism. However, Premier Dahal's directives alone are not enough to find solutions to all the problems. Almost all state bodies are plagued with governance-related issues. The officials are not well versed with technology, while the trend of traditional working procedure only adds to the public's brunt. There is enough room for ensuring good governance by solving problems while ensuring managerial improvements. But for this, a responsible political leadership with strong willpower is required. The administrative mechanism plays an equally important role in this regard. Many times, the officials have been using legal hassles as their shield to defend lapses in public service delivery. It remains to be seen if the new political leadership can hold them accountable to ensure ease in public service delivery. International airports of any country are sensitive in terms of security. Special security arrangements are put in place at international airports, considering continuous risks of terrorism, cross-border crimes and smuggling. However, questions keep surfacing regarding the security mechanisms and arrangements of Trivandrum International Airport. Now that Nepal has 2 more international airports, security challenges have further increased. A Sudani citizen, Mohammad Dafala, who arrived in Kathmandu on a Fly Dubai aircraft on 24th of December, was arrested from the Trivandrum International Airport customs, possessing 19 kilograms of gold. The incident is not a new one for Nepal, as just 4 years ago, some 33 kilograms of gold had entered in the country with an alleged involvement of airport officials. Gold these days is being smuggled into Nepal in different forms, including jewelries, liquid and powder forms. Around 70 kilograms of gold have been smuggled into Nepal in the past 2 years alone. The TIA is also becoming an easier route for drug smugglers. Police data shows cocaine, heroin and methamphetamine have been confiscated from the TIA in the past 3 years. Back in 1999, security arrangement of Nepali airports invited heavy international criticism when an Indian Airlines aircraft, which had taken off from the TIA in 1999, was hijacked. Despite these incidents, security arrangements of the airports have yet to improve in the country. Nepal now has 2 more international airports. Gautam Buddha International Airport, which is near the border with India, and Pokhara International Airport are 2 new entry gates to Nepal. The security of the TIA has been assigned to teams led by Deputy Inspector General, and the 2 new airports are being looked after by Senior Superintendent of Police. Likewise, teams of police personnel are deployed for the security checks of those departing from Nepal. However, civil servants have been deployed for those entering the country, which security experts say are against the security protocol. The government has for long been prioritizing slogans for quality education. However, the number of students pursuing their academics in foreign nations has increased as the quality of education in Nepal has remained poor. A total of 121,400 students have received their no objection certificate from the Ministry of Education in 2022 alone to pursue their academics abroad, as they are ensured employment opportunities following the completion of education there. Such number of students leaving Nepal has not decreased because of no change in policies to integrated education and skills and the job market. Hundreds of students applying for NOC reach the Ministry of Education every day, as it is time for admission for new academic sessions in foreign universities. The Department of Ministry has been issuing more than 600 NOCs every day. Of the total 121,400 students who received NOC in 2022, the highest 66,800 had applied for Australia, 16,200 for Japan, 11,000 for Canada, 7,600 for the United Kingdom and 5,100 for the United States of America. Nepali students reach 109 different countries to pursue their academics. 22 billion rupees has exited Nepal between the 4-month period of mid-July to the mid of November. More than 67 billion rupees had exited Nepal in the previous fiscal year. Experts are of the opinion that students can be stopped from leaving the country only if the education policy can be revised to link education with skills and employment opportunities. The large number of 121,000 students leaving Nepal in a year for higher education is a matter of concern. Failure of the government and universities in revising curriculums and introducing relevant courses is only likely to complicate the situation further. Now, in our Public Voice segment, we've asked in several provinces regarding the trend, in fact, of increasing number of people moving abroad seeking higher education. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
रोजगारी नभएर स्टुडेन्ट भिजा लगाएर विदेशिन बाध्य भएका छन्।
बेरोजगारी
र कसरी घटाउने भन्ने एउटा मापदण्ड सरकारले बनाउन सकेका छैन।
पढाइ अनुसारको काम नमिल्नु एउटा प्रमुख कारण रहेको छ।
नेपालमा चाहिँ अलिकति बेरोजगारको कारणले गर्दाखेरि
उपकरणहरूको पनि विदेशमा जस्तो फेसिलिटी छ पर्याप्त चाहिँ त्यति चाहिँ नेपालमा नभएकोले मान्छे जान्छ।
विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूले आफ्नो भविष्य चाहिँ आफ्नो देशमा नदेखेको कारणले गर्दा
Immediately after the formation of the new government, Nepal Rashtra Bank has addressed the demands of business persons and industrialists by amending the rule for working capital loans. Based on the previous arrangement of the directive, loans exceeding the limit had to be paid back before the mid of November. However, informing about the amendment yesterday, Rashtra Bank has said that such loans can be paid by the mid of July of 2025. Business persons and industrialists who had violated regulations to invest in the share market and real estate had been protesting for the past 4 months with the demands of reduction of limit on such loans. While the large businesses and industrialists had been demanding amendment in the rule, small-scale businesses and industries had been expecting reduction in interest rates. However, despite amending the rule, Nepal Rashtra Bank has not hinted towards reducing interest rates. 4 months ago, Nepal Rashtra Bank had introduced a provision by which a maximum of 20% of transactions could be taken as working capital loans. The central bank governor, Mahaprasad Adhikari, had ignored the repetitive calls of the previous government to address the demands of the business persons and industrialists. However, he held several parleys with the Minister for Finance and the business persons before addressing such demands within 10 days of formation of the new government. Governor Adhikari amended the rule after meeting Prime Minister and Finance Minister yesterday. Karnali province is behind in terms of physical infrastructures and development. Despite massive possibilities of tourism, water resources and herbs, Karnali, which had not witnessed projected development, had expected of change in public life following the implementation of federalism. However, not much change has been seen in the living standards of Karnali residents in the past 5 years. Local residents of Karnali who felt ignored by the central government had high hopes with the provincial government. However, the provincial leaders were busy imitating the centre in gaining and holding power. CPN Maoist Centre's Mahendra Bahadur Shahi of rural Kalikot was elected the chief minister with the support from CPN UML and operated the government for 3.5 years. Problems of the erstwhile Nepal Communist Party also became evident in the region as 4 lawmakers of UML crossed the floor. Following Mahendra, Nepali Congress's Jiwan Bahadur Shahi of even rural district Humla rose to power. The provincial government was busy increasing ministries and ministers. Of the 40-member provincial assembly, 22 were appointed as ministers. Regular change in ministers saw development works fail to gain momentum. 28% of population of Karnali still finds it difficult to make daily ends meet. With 51.2% poverty rate, Karnali, which holds 21.6% area of Nepal's territory, has only 13.2% arable land. With very less cultivable land and no access to fertilizers and irrigation, many districts face shortage of food for around 3 months. Local residents of Karnali do not have access to basic services including roads, education and health and are compelled to seek employment opportunities across the border. Karnali, which failed to benefit from federalism in the past 5 years, is now making preparations to form a new government. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, why have the political leadership not appeared sensitive towards the issues of Karnali? Your options are A, trend of relishing power, B, lack of understanding of issues, and C, geographic challenges. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Let's move on to the international update. The U.S. House of Representatives has failed to elect a speaker, with Republican leader Kevin McCarthy continuing to fall short of the majority he needs to preside over the chamber. In the 6th round of voting last night, far-right opposition to McCarthy persisted, setting up the prospect of a prolonged crisis in Congress as the House remains practically paralyzed without a speaker. McCarthy needed 218 votes to claim the gavel, but in 3 ballots he only received 201, with 20 Republicans backing Congressman Byron Donalds and 1 voting present as a sign of protest. Democrats remained united behind their nominee, Hakeem Jeffries, who got 212 votes. The House adjourned after its third attempt to elect a speaker yesterday, its sixth vote overall. Early on Wednesday, President Joe Biden called on Republicans to act together and elect a House Speaker. Without a Speaker, new House politicians elected in the November midterms cannot be sworn in. They still hold the title of Representative-elect. The first official franchise tournament of the Cricket Association of Nepal, CAN, has been drawn into controversies surrounding match fixing and betting. Despite the claim of CAN regarding no fixing or illegal activities, the Central Investigation Bureau (CIB) of Nepal Police has begun investigations into the matter. Former Nepal national cricket team captain and Kathmandu Knights skipper Gyanendra Malla on Tuesday said that one member of his team was approached with a fixing proposal. Prior to that, commentator Sachin Timal Sinha had also claimed of the matches of Nepal T20 being fixed. Both these incidents have been reported to the Anti-Corruption Unit (ACU). According to sources, 8 such complaints have been filed at the ACU. In addition to this, the Ministry of Home Affairs has also directed the Central Investigation Bureau to investigate any suspicious activities. Match fixing and spot fixing have become a major challenge for world cricket in recent time. Many analysts have claimed of suspicious activities, including spot fixing in Nepal T20. Based on the preliminary understanding of the CIB, efforts are underway to influence match results by persuading a few players. While fixing is not a new topic in world cricket, the role of related national cricketing governing bodies in avoiding such illegal activities holds significance. In relation to the Nepal T20 League, both 7-3 Sports and CAN have been drawn into controversies. A total of 6 teams are participating in the Nepal T20 League. Of them, sources have said that only 2 owners are legitimate. Players of other teams have said that they have not even met the owners. Not assigning the captaincy responsibility to Nepali players, inserting betting code in live broadcast, and having an illegal betting company as the sponsor have further increased suspicions about betting. CIB, which is close to gathering evidences, has also recorded statements from the officials of CAN. Based on the existing legal provisions of Nepal, those found guilty of match fixing in or outside of Nepal can be sentenced up to 3 years with a fine of up to 3,000 rupees. In addition to that, all amount transacted in fixing is also to be confiscated. And that is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.